Hey everybody, this video is on the unit of account cost of inflation. Now what is the unit of account cost of inflation? It's the problem of using a dollar as our unit of account. Think about it, guys. We use a dollar to communicate value. What's the issue? Well, the value of a dollar changes all the time. Hey, that's going to lead to bad decision making. If the way that we communicate value is with something, a unit of measurement, a unit of account that changes its value, that's going to lead to bad decision making. Let me give you one example right off the bat. Here it is. You're looking at maybe buying a taco and you look up at the sign and you see the price of a taco. Now what's the real meaning of that price? The real meaning of that price is based on your knowledge of the prices of all other goods and services. The real meaning of that price is when you look at it, you're saying, hey, I'm going to have to forego this amount of other goods and services. That's the real meaning of any price. So the meaning of prices has to do with your knowledge of the prices of all other goods that are out there. Sure, you can see the price of a taco, but you can't see the prices of all the other goods that are out there. During times of low, stable inflation, you have very good idea of the prices of all those other goods. But when inflation starts getting higher, and guys, the more inflation, the higher it is, the more rapid prices are changing, guys, the more this unit of account cost becomes a problem. So as inflation ticks up and ticks up, prices are changing much more rapidly. You're looking at the price of any good or service, you lose sight of the prices of all those other goods and services. And when I say lose sight, your knowledge, of course you can't see them, but your knowledge of them gets a little bit distorted. You don't know exactly what they are. So guess what? You don't know exactly the meaning of that price. Again, the meaning of any price out there has to do with your knowledge of the prices of goods and services that are out there. And guys, when you have inflation, what is inflation? It's when the price level goes up. It's when prices are changing. The more rapid inflation, the more the prices are changing. Hey, your knowledge of all those other prices becomes a lot more distorted. You don't really have a clear vision of all those other prices. That's one unit of account cost. Now, this unit of account cost that I'm talking about becomes even bigger when you start talking about contracts that span across time. Think about a labor contract. Think about it when you enter into a labor contract, you're setting the wage for a period of time, oftentimes a year. And what's that wage communicated in? Dollars. And what's the issue? Over the course of time, prices are going to change. So the value of the dollar is going to change. And you don't know how much prices are going to change. You don't know how much inflation there's going to be or deflation. Same with if you're renting an apartment, okay, that lease, the rent amount on that lease is communicated in dollars. Again, that's going to be set for like a year. And again, we're communicating the value of that rent in dollars, and the value of that dollar is going to probably change across as that time goes on. When we span across time, we have contracts that span across time, the unit of account cost is even bigger. And one of the places that we see it the biggest is when it comes to debt contracts. What am I talking about? Mortgages, car loans, student loans. Again, this is a contract that we're engaging in today, but hey, we're talking about something that can span 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 30 years. And what's the issue? We don't know what the value of the dollar is going to be in 10, 20, 30 years, or even 1 year from now. This is a big issue. Now, we try to overcome it by anticipating the inflation rate. But what's the issue? We're not good forecasters. That's right, economists are not good forecasters. It's almost impossible to exactly anticipate what the inflation rate is going to be, i.e. how much the value of the dollar is going to change. And so this leads, again, to bad decision making. Let's do some examples, and I've got this matrix to help us out with an example, okay, with a few examples. So the first thing is I want you to get your head around these first 3 columns, okay? This is what's set at the beginning of the loan, okay? So when we sign the loan contract, this is what we have set, okay? The nominal interest rate. The nominal interest rate is telling us the percent increase in dollars the lender is going to receive, the percent increase in dollars the borrower is going to have to pay. This is all about dollars. When you hear nominal, you should think dollars. That's what we're setting. That's what's printed on the debt contract. Now, these two are all expectations at the time of the loan, okay? This is the expected increase in purchasing power that the lender is going to receive. This is the percent increase, the expected percent increase in goods and services the lender is going to be able to buy. In other words, the real interest rate is what they really care about. The real interest rate is what they really care about. Again, it's the expected increase in goods and services they're going to be able to buy. At the end of the day, guys, we really don't care about how many dollars we're going to get. We care about the purchasing power of those dollars. We care about how much our purchasing power is going to change, how much our real income, if you will, is going to change. Now, the inflation rate, that is our anticipated, our expected inflation rate. This is what we're forecasting, okay? But again, this is determined when the loan is made, and we don't know for sure what the inflation rate is going to be. Now, here we got the actual inflation rate. That's telling us how much the dollar is going to lose value. That's right. This is how much prices are going to go up, therefore how much the dollar is going to lose value. Remember, the relationship between the price level and the value of the dollar is inverse, right? So this is telling us how much the prices are going to go up, how much the dollar is going to lose value. The actual real interest rate. At the end of the day, this is what we really care about, okay? What is the actual real interest rate? The lender, this is how much the percent increase in goods and services you're actually going to be able to buy. The percent increase in purchasing power you're actually going to get. And again, from a borrower standpoint, this is telling them basically how much they're going to have to work to pay this thing off. And then I've got the help to hurt column. Okay, let's get through some examples. Let's start with scenario 1. Okay, scenario 1, I've already put in all of these values, okay? 6% nominal. I was going to leave this blank, but I've gone ahead and filled it in. 4%, 2%, just so we can see on this first one, this is how it works, right? Just an application of this formula. 4 plus 2 gives us the 6. So here's the thing. The lender, when the loan is made, is expecting to be able to buy 4% more goods and services. Now, another way to look at it is, hey, what's going to happen? The lender's going to receive 6% more dollars. They're expecting each one of those dollars to lose 2% in value. But here's the thing. Let's say, now again, this is happening when it's being paid back, that those dollars only lose 1% in value. They're expecting them to lose 2%, but they only lose 1% in value. They're getting 6% more dollars. Each one of those dollars is losing 1% in value because prices went up by 1%. So that means their real interest rate is 5%. They were expecting to be able to buy 4% more goods and services. They're going to be able to buy 5% more goods and services. The lender is, of course, helped. They're definitely happy about this. Now, the borrower, when we think about them, here's the thing. That asset, the dollar that they're going to have to pay, they were expecting it to lose 2% in value. They knew they were going to have to pay 6% more dollars, but they expected that asset to lose 2% in value. It only lost 1% in value. That means the real value of their debt is greater than they thought. That means they're going to have to work more. Guys, here's the deal. That asset that they have to acquire to pay back, that asset is worth more. That means they're going to have to work more to get it. And therefore, they're going to have to work more than they thought. They are definitely hurt by this unanticipated inflation. The borrower is hurt by this. Who knows? The borrower might not have done this deal if they would have known what actually was going to happen. Next line. Okay, now again, just applying this formula, we got a real interest rate of 5, inflation premium of 3. That gives us a nominal interest rate of 8%. The lender will receive 8% more dollars. We're expecting each of those dollars to lose 3% in value, but they actually lose 5% in value. Prices went up by 5%, not 3%. The value of the dollar dropped by more than we expected it. What's that going to mean? That's going to mean the real interest rate is going to be 3%. Again, how did I figure that out? 8% more dollars, each dollar is going to actually lose 5% in value. That means a 3% increase in the amount of goods and services, percent increase in the amount of goods and services the lender is going to be able to buy. They were expecting a 5% increase in the amount of goods and services they're going to be able to buy. Ends up being just 3%. The lender, not happy at all. Very sad. The borrower, let's talk about the real value of their debt. It's less than they thought. The asset they're going to have to pay back their debt in is worth less than they thought it was going to be. They're going to have to work less than they thought to pay this back. The borrower, definitely happy. The next scenario, scenario 3. Again, just applying the formula, this means the inflation premium is 4%, okay? Now, what's going to happen, this is what's set, the borrower's going to have to pay 6% more dollars. We know that. We're expecting each of those dollars to lose 4% in value, okay? Leaving us with a real return of 2%. That's our expectation. Now, I didn't give us the actual inflation rate, but guess what? The actual real interest rate I gave us, and that's 4%, okay? So what does that mean? That means the value of the dollar actually lost 2% in value. So there's 2%. If you didn't follow that, how did I get that 2%? Again, getting 6% more dollars. The question is, how much did those dollars lose in value so that the lender can actually buy 4% more goods and services? They must have lost 2% in value. So there we go. We've got that filled in. Now, the two big columns, I think, for doing who's hurt, who's helped, are these ones. Well, remember, what do we really care about? We really care about the real interest rate. Well, we expected the real interest rate to be 2%. It was actually 4%. Hey, the lender, definitely happy. They're going to be able to buy more goods and services than they thought. The borrower, Not happy. That asset is worth more than they thought. Remember, they thought that asset was going to lose 4% in value. It only lost 2% in value. The real value of their debt has gone up. The borrower, not happy at all. Here's the last one. Now, I kind of changed it up a little bit. So how are we going to do this? Well, with these two values, we can get the nominal interest rate. The dollar is going to lose 3% in value, but they're still going to be able to buy 3% more goods and services. That means they must actually be getting 6% more dollars. That's our nominal interest rate. The lender is going to receive 6% more dollars. Again, each of those dollars are going to lose 3% in value. That means they're going to be able to buy 3% more goods and services. Now, what's this? Well, an application of our formula, 5%. So when this loan was negotiated, the real interest rate the borrower and lender thought was going to happen was going to be 5%. It ended up being lower. Who likes low? The borrower, right? The borrower is definitely happy. Who doesn't like low interest rates? The lender. To make sure that we've got this, again, 6% more dollars will be paid. That's what's set. That's the contract. But they expected those dollars to lose 1% value. They lost more value than they expected. The lender is receiving an asset worth less than they expected it to be. They are definitely hurt. The borrower, hey, they're getting to pay back this loan with an asset that is worth less than they expected it to be. They're definitely happy. Hope that made sense to you. We'll see you in the next video.